Mi chiamo Kensington Tallman, and I play Lucy in Home Sweet Rome. Filming Home Sweet Rome was so much fun. We actually did get to film in Rome, and we filmed at some of the most iconic locations, like the Colosseum and the Spanish Steps and the Villa Adriana. And I had such an amazing connection with our amazing cast and crew. And Rome itself is such a cool city. It's so ancient, and everywhere you turn, there's an ancient ruin. And the food is so good. And the gelato's the best part. The first step of getting the role for Home Sweet Rome was submitting a self-tape, and then after that, I met with Michael Poirier, the co-creator of Home Sweet Rome. He also created Hannah Montana and That's So Raven, and we just kind of talked about Lucy and his vision for the project, and we had fun. And then after that, I did a producer read with Michael, as well as our amazing showrunners, Matt Huter and Courtney Jane Walker, and one of our directors, Steve Skaney, and casting Howard Meltzer and Tim Pratt. And we just ran through some of the scenes, and we had a lot of fun. We laughed, we talked about the quirks of Lucy. And then after that, I went to the recording studio with our amazing music producers, Alex Garingas and Chen Neiman, and I recorded a song with them, and I had a great connection with them. They're so funny and so encouraging. I love them. And then the final step was just meeting with Steve Skaney, and we had a blast. We just talked about the show and the project. We ran through some of the scenes, and Steve is so nice and he has so much energy. And a couple weeks later, I got a call saying that I booked Lucy in Home Sweet Rome, and I just remember screaming and crying and laughing, and I was so excited. And a couple months later, I was in Rome, Italy. Yes, Lucy and I are very similar, and one of the first things you'll notice about her is how clumsy she is, but we love that about her. And I'm also very clumsy, and there are a bunch of scripted falls and things that she does. Some of them are not scripted though, some of them are just me tripping on a cobblestone. Lucy is also a very bad dancer, and when I met with our showrunners, Courtney and Matt, they asked me if I was a good dancer. I was like, I can't dance yet. I can take lessons if you want me to. I can work also. I'll do whatever you need me to do. And they're like, stop. Don't do a thing. Don't dance. We want you to be a bad dancer. And I was like, perfect. This is great. This is my role. This is great. So Lucy and I are both very bad dancers, and we love to embrace that. Another funny thing about Lucy is that she gets really scared and kind of nervous about everything, and she tends to overthink everything, and she goes on these nervous rambles, which I definitely do. But the most important thing to know about Lucy is how optimistic she is. No matter what life throws at her, she'll always try to find the bright side in every single situation, and I think we definitely have that in common. A funny story is in episode 12, I am dressed as an inflatable dinosaur running all over Rome, and so there were tourists watching, and they were so confused why I was dressed as this dinosaur and why there was a camera crew filming me. And it was really funny to see their reactions, and people were filming me, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. They think I look ridiculous, and I love it. Something else that was really funny is in episode 5, I have this giant cheese wheel, for reasons you will understand when you watch it. And I have this giant cheese wheel, and I'm trying to put it on my bike, and I'm supposed to knock the cheese wheel off my bike. Well, in one take, I not only knocked the cheese over, but I knocked the entire bike over, and it just went onto the cobblestone. I honestly don't know how it was still in one piece. And then the next day, I saw that there were 2 bikes, and I was like, I've never seen that. Oh, I bet they got a double bike just in case something happened to it. So yeah, me and Lucy are very similar, and I love Lucy so much. Yeah, a normal day usually started at around 5 or 6 a.m. I'd wake up, eat breakfast, get ready for the day, and then because of the time change, I'd usually have to do a voice lesson with my coaches pretty early. So that would start at around 6 a.m. and I just warm up my voice and feel confident about the songs that I was singing that day. And then after that, I'd practice my lines, practice my ukulele for the day, and then something that is really important to me is I'd always warm up my body or do some yoga just to make sure that my mind and my body are ready for set. So then after that, I would head to set, go to hair and makeup, get my costume on, film a couple scenes, eat lunch, do some school, finish the scenes, and then I'd come home, I'd finish my school for the day, I'd eat dinner, I'd memorize my lines for the next day, I might do a ukulele lesson or another voice lesson, and then something that is really important to me is to just have some downtime. So I take like a half hour, just watch a show, just, you know, take a mental break so that I'm ready and refueled for the next day on set, and then I'd go to sleep and do it all again. So Home Sweet Rome is about Lucy, a 13-year-old girl moving all the way from America to Rome, Italy, because her mom sadly passes away, and so her dad gets remarried to an Italian pop star. And so Lucy has to adapt to this new life abroad with a new stepmom, a new culture, a new language, new everything. And she's also thousands of miles away from her best friend Kyla, played by the amazing Ava Rowe. And so the show at its core has so much heart and is about self-discovery, and it has a unique blending of American and European sensibilities. And our show also features many original songs written by the amazing Alex Gringus and Chen Neiman. And they're super fun songs you can get up and dance to and sing along. We also have some songs in Italian, and we also have beautiful ballads that are really inspiring and emotional. And I think what makes the show really special and unique is that there isn't a show out there for kids like this. You know, you'll be so immersed in this beautiful Italian culture, you might even learn some Italian, and you'll learn a lot about it too, and you'll be able to see these amazing locations like the Colosseum. And it's a show that the whole family can watch. You'll laugh and cry in the same episode, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. Yes, so I sing around 10 songs in the show, and they were all written and composed by the incredible Alex Gringus and Chen Neiman, and we had so much fun recording them, and I had a blast filming those scenes. And what's really cool is Lucy plays the ukulele, and I also play the ukulele, so some of the songs have ukulele, so I got to play the ukulele and sing. And what's really cool about all our music is they're all very different and unique, and there's some songs in Italian, and there's really beautiful ballads, and there's upbeat dance songs that you want to sing along to. And what's really cool is that Lucy goes through a beautiful arc throughout the story. And at first, you know, she sings and she plays the ukulele. She's kind of like, oh, it's fun, it's something I do, but I don't think I can actually pursue this, you know? And then there's a really special point where she realizes, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could be a pop star. Maybe I could write music. Maybe this is something I can do. And I went through something very, very similar. So 3 years ago, I went into an audition and I sang very flat, and I didn't think I could ever sing again, but I started taking lessons. But I just was kind of self-conscious about myself, and I didn't think that I was amazing or anything. And so when the audition for Home Sweet Rome came along, it said that you had to sing. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was a little nervous, but I was like, I can do it. And as the show progressed, I worked really hard and I grew so much as a singer. And I went through a very similar arc as Lucy, and I realized that I can do this. I can be a singer, and I'm actually working on original music right now with our producers, Alex and Chen, and we're having so much fun. Actually, no, this was my very first time in Europe, and I was just in love with the culture and the beauty, and I had so much fun. And something that's really cool about this is in 4th grade, I specifically remember wanting to go to Italy. It was my dream. I made a map in art class of Italy saying that I wanted to go there. And sure enough, a couple years later, I was filming Home Sweet Rome. And what's even crazier is a couple years ago, about 3 years ago, I started taking Italian just because I love the language, and I'm still keeping up with Italian now, and I thought I'd teach you a little something. So this is the most important thing you'll need to know if you go to Rome, and it's how to order a gelato. So first you're gonna say, ciao, ciao, come stai? So like that's hi, how are you? And then you'll say, posso avere una grande, medio o piccolo? So that would be like, hi, I would like to order a big, a medium, or a small, whatever you choose. And then when they ask you your flavors, you would say, io vorrei fondente, melone, or mandarino. Those are my favorite flavors, but you can order whatever you want. And then you would say, grazie mille, ciao, buona giornata. So that means thank you so much, goodbye, have a great day. And that's all you need to know. Well, not really, but that's the most important thing. And if I could visit any other place, it would definitely have to be Japan. I love the culture, and I am a huge Hello Kitty fan, and I know they have Hello Kitty World there, so I have to make it to Hello Kitty World. If I could guest star on any currently running TV show, it would have to be Only Murders in the Building. That is by far one of my favorite TV shows. The comedy is so brilliant. And working with the most iconic people like Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez would be such a dream come true. I think something that people would find surprising about me is that I love to do aerial arts. I love aerial silks and the aerial hoop, and I think it's just a really fun way of expressing myself through another form of art. And I would love to relay that into my acting. Like, I'd love to do a project where I get to be on an aerial silk or hoop. And I'd also love to do my own stunts. I think that is so cool, and I would love to be on harness jumping off of buildings or something. That would be really cool. That's a great question. There have been so many people in my life who've been really encouraging and taught me so much about this business, but I've been feeling really inspired by all the incredible showrunners I've worked with, like Maddie Whippy and Monica Shear. They always have the best energy. They're so encouraging, and they're so kind, and they're so funny. And David A. Arnold from That Girl Lele always thanked everybody at the end of the day, and he always made sure that every single person on set felt loved and appreciated, and he always stressed the idea that no one was more important than the other, and a show cannot function without every single one of those people on set, and I just admired that about him so much. And Courtney and Matt from Home Sweet Rome, they have so much great energy, and they really knew how to lead a show, and they had great leadership skills. And Courtney gave me some great advice on our last day, and she said, don't ever make yourself feel small. She said, be bold, put yourself out there, be silly and goofy. And I wanted to share that advice with you. So if anyone is making you feel small, be bold, show them what you've got, because you're amazing. And yeah, those are some of the people that have really inspired me and taught me a lot in this business. Ooh, great question. I don't really find animation or live action to be more difficult than the other. I just think they're different. Like in animation, you usually aren't talking to another scene partner, you're just reading by yourself. Whereas in live action, you are talking with other characters and you're playing off them, which is really fun. What's really cool about animation is I'm a very animated person myself, and I love to use my hands and things, so that's really fun to do in the booth. What's really cool about animation is that you get to use your imagination in a different way, because you really have to paint the picture of where you are and really find that animated world, which is really cool. And in live action, you also are definitely using your imagination as well. And sometimes you are working with green screens, like in Home Sweet Rome, me and Ava Rowe, who plays Kyla. Lucy and Kyla had a lot of scenes over FaceTime, but in a reality, we were just talking to a green screen on an iPad, and we were reading with someone else off camera, so we really had to use our imagination and find that connection, which was really fun. So yeah, I love voiceover and I love live action. Yes, I do have a lot of hobbies. As I mentioned before, I love to sing and play the ukulele like Lucy. I also love to do aerial dance, and I love any form of art. I love painting, drawing, crocheting, baking, crafting, all of it. I also love to hang out with my family and my friends, and I also really love animals. I'm a vegan, and I have a pet bunny named Cinnabunny, who's a rescue. And on the weekends, I love to go to this amazing facility called the Gentle Barn. And the Gentle Barn will rescue all these animals who've been abused or been in scary situations, and they'll give them a beautiful new life. And it's really therapeutic because you get to hug cows and cuddle with turkeys and pigs. So yeah, those are some of my hobbies. Yeah, I'm working on lots of fun, exciting things right now. I'm working on a really special animated project that's coming out in 2024, and I'm about to film my very first live action feature film in May, which I'm really excited about. I'm also continuing my work on Nickelodeon's That Girl Lele as Tiffany Highlander, and my voiceover work as Honey Bear on Nickelodeon's Bossy Bear, and Gage on Disney Junior's Firebuds. And I'm also co-creating a show with my best friend Samantha A. Smith, and it's gonna be a fun, upbeat kids comedy about two best friends, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. And I'm also writing original music with the music producers from Home Sweet Rome, Alex Karingas and Chen Neiman, and we're having a blast. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you check out Home Sweet Rome on April 7th at 7 p.m. on Family Channel Canada, and it's coming to HBO Max next year, so stay tuned. Ciao, ciao!